Hi everybody, I'm Bill. I'm one of the community managers here at GLUE, and we have Anna Floreen.
Hi everybody, I'm one of the other community manager here at GLUE.
And Anna just took part in the Bionic Pancreas study. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it was the most amazing experience I think I've had since being diagnosed with type 1 24 years ago. I actually heard about the study through a coworker here at GLUE, sent me the link through an email, and I was screened and qualified, and a few weeks later was hooked up to a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so what were you like hooked up to? I saw that picture of you and you had like, it almost looked like just, I mean you must have had 7 different like sites on.
I did, so a lot of people were like, oh my goodness, what do all those things mean? So how the whole system worked was I was attached to a regular old Dexcom CGM that read wirelessly to a CGM. I flip it over and it actually looked like an iPhone. Those two things communicated to each other through an algorithm that's being developed through the whole study process. And then that algorithm on the Bionic Pancreas, which you guys can see more through our articles, communicated wirelessly to 2 different pumps. So really the type of infusion sets that I had 2 sites. They're called the Contact D or the Sure T infusion sets. Many of you might have seen them or used them yourselves for your own insulin pumps. But there were two pumps. One delivered regular old insulin like many of us get every day, and the other one was glucagon. So it was really just 2 pump sites and a Dexcom site on me, all kind of working together to make sure that, you know, if my blood sugar started to trend down, I got a little glucagon. If my blood sugar started to creep up, it meant that I probably ate something or needed a little insulin, and it all kind of unanimously provided this system of awesomeness.
That's pretty awesome. Now, listen, I wear a pump, I have a Dexcom, but I've never had glucagon delivered to me like on a consistent basis. Did you have any side effects with the glucagon? Did the site ever get irritated or?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Bill, and I think of all the kind of comments and questions that I've got, that's probably the most often, you know, question asked. A lot of people think, oh, glucagon, you got all these side effects, you might get nauseous or whatever. I mean, I had glucagon twice as a little kid because of severe lows, but I didn't feel one side effect from it. And one of the reasons is because the amount of glucagon I learned that's actually in like our red Lilly, you know, EpiPen kind of packets that we have at home is 1,000 micrograms. And over the course of the day, through the little bursts of glucagon that I could see that I was getting through the Bionic Pancreas, I only got about 3 micrograms.
So it was like small.
0.3% of the amount of the dose that I would normally get should I have had a severe low. So I really didn't feel any of those side effects.
Did your blood sugars like spike like right up, or was it like a slow?
You know, you could see, if any of you guys have a CGM, you could, and you can see through some of the links in our articles too, you could see it kind of trending up and trending down, and as soon as I would get that like burst of glucagon, I would start to come back up a little bit, but I never spiked, you know, really over 200 over the course of 5 days, which is just amazing.
So the pictures that we're talking about, Anna had 7 days of blogging while she was on the Bionic Pancreas study. And I know I'm like thinking of that one picture of the actual iPhone, right? That it has blue and it has red that you're getting delivered. Is the red the glucagon or is it the blue?
So the red is the glucagon. It almost looks like a little bar graph and a line graph. The line graph is obviously the blood sugar trends, and so the blue indicates when throughout the day I would have gotten insulin, and the red is glucagon. So some days have a lot more red based on if I exercised or needed a little bit of that boost, and the blue is, you know, obviously the days that I splurged and had pizza and gelato and really tried to enjoy not having to think about those carb counting.
So with this trial, were you just like confined to like a hotel room, or did you have to eat like certain types of foods?
No,
did they limit anything?
Yeah, that was really the beauty of it. This is, I think, one of the first kind of outpatient setting trials they've done, especially in the Boston area, using this Bionic Pancreas. So I was confined to a 3-mile radius and did have a nurse with me through MGH that was basically at my side 24 hours a day. I did stay in a hotel room at night, so that part, you know, was a little bit weird, just kind of having or my own personal camp counselor kind of follow me around, tell me, you know, when to check my blood sugar. But it was very nice knowing that I had someone who knew exactly what to do. God forbid something were to get a little screwed up with the study, but I was free to eat whatever I wanted, wherever I wanted.
All right. So let's get down to it.
It was awesome.
Let's get down to it. You were able to eat whatever you wanted, and so I want to know what you ate and what your blood sugar did. And the other side, like exercise, were you allowed to do any exercise, and did you go low?
It was awesome, Bill. So the first night we went to the Upper Crust, which if any of you are from the Boston area, it's this phenomenal pizza place. So I had 2 slices of giant pizza and then gelato. I
ate pizza and ice cream.
pizza and ice cream. And I don't think my blood sugar ever went over like 170, which is like, where are the diabetes gods? And it was awesome. The next morning, I think, was the best aha moment. A lot of us exercised and we're just like, screw you, blood sugar. I'm going to run on the treadmill and see how low I can go. And just, you have to think about suspending a palm, bringing a juice box to the little tray on the exercise bike.
Right.
None of that. I didn't have to deal with a temp basal, bringing juice boxes to the gym, nothing. They did check my blood sugar every 15 minutes throughout my workouts, but I literally could worry-free go to the gym. They had an awesome gym at the hotel, could walk to work. I think I walked to Newbury Street one day, and that's always my biggest worry. Am I going to go low even just on a 20-minute walk?
Right.
And bam, got a burst of glucagon as I started to trend down to about 80. Didn't even feel low once.
So I know the first question that I had for you when you were getting involved in the trial, and you maybe it was like your second, third day in. I asked you, so have you felt like you've had diabetes? And what I meant was, have you had any high symptoms or low symptoms the entire time that you were on this trial?
That was probably the most amazing thing. I mean, having diabetes, you're constantly feeling, ups and downs. It really is a roller coaster of feelings. I didn't feel one low blood sugar symptom. I think I went to Whole Foods once and had lunch after a big workout, and I was kind of hungry, and I'm like, am I low? I looked at the Bionic Pancreas and it said I was about 80 or 77, and I'm just like, am I kind of feeling low? Is this a little bit of the glucagon side effects? And I'm just like, maybe I'm just hungry.
Maybe you're just
this
hungry.
This is what people feel like that don't have diabetes. But Bill, that was his, I think, biggest aha thing about this
That's
whole
really
thing.
exciting.
I didn't feel low, I didn't feel high, and I didn't worry about going low or high, and that was really the best part. I think I wrote in the article, I would have like 30 sites attached to me if it meant I didn't have to worry, and it was a great feeling.
That must have been just like a huge burden that was lifted off your shoulders.
It was a giant weight removed from my shoulder, and I think one of the best pieces of advice that I could give people is that just don't be afraid to participate in research, because I never thought, I grew up in Boston, I go to my endocrinologist at Joslin, and I was like, this isn't for me. And then I was like, why not? I'll try it and check it out. And it was just such an awesome way to make, people realize that it's okay to trust research every once in a while.
Yeah. So on Glue, we're talking about diabetes in the workplace, and how are you able to have this nurse with you 24/7? And I mean, what did your employer say about it?
Obviously we work in a diabetes environment. They were excited about it. People wanted to learn about it left and right. I'm not usually one to kind of bring up diabetes, like, hi, my name is Anna, and by the way, I'm a type 1 diabetic. Like, that's not usually me, but here everybody was so interested in it, very, very accepting of the fact that I, had to leave work a couple minutes early. The nurse was great. They just didn't really interrupt any meetings. I could go to meetings as long as I was in, the 3-mile radius of where the hospital was, which I was lucky it was. I work only about 1.5 miles from the study site, so I was very lucky in that sense. But this particular study, I think you probably do have to have a very accepting employer, and I'm lucky in that sense.
So now that you're not involved in the trial anymore, and you had over 100,000 people look or view at the articles that you were writing, what was that feeling like the first day you woke up and the devices weren't there anymore, and you're kind of back to the same old?
It was honestly, Bill, like a little bit of bionic pancreas withdrawal. I almost forgot to bolus for dinner one night. The next day I felt high. I don't know if it was just different hormones. I used Humalog during the trial and I normally use Novolog. I don't know if that was it. I don't know if it was sleeping in my own bed for a change. But I was just kind of like, ugh. I wear the Dexcom normally and I was just not motivated to put that thing back in. I think I almost felt like I was just diagnosed all over again. And
Interesting.
I mean, I was 6 when I was diagnosed. You were 8. It's kind of just like, I just had this vacation for 5 days and now it's like back to the grind. So it was a phenomenal experience and I'm so lucky to have been able to share it with everybody.
Well, if you have any questions for Anna, please comment on the bottom of this video. You also can get in touch with her on Glue. She is Glue Anna. And you can also read the articles below of her 7-day experience while being on the trial. We hope you all join Glue and have a great day.
Thanks.